We'll begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, tonight, when we have our first reading of the budget, before we do that, we have met with the department heads of the county Monday and Wednesday night. So tonight we're meeting with the outside agencies where you can present your budget, and that way anybody has any questions, they can answer the past them. So we're going to begin with Martha Basher with 4-H.
Okay, so we're all going to go together. Moral support. So I'm Hannah Lasher. I am the new 4-H educator for Perry County. I've been here for about a year, and I am just here to introduce the Queen, Perry County Queen, Alyssa Rogie, and Martha Basher, the Vice President of our 4-H Council.
My name is Alyssa Rogie. I'm a 9-year 4-H member with the Young Americans 4-H Club, and I had the honor of being crowned Miss Perry County 2024 at the Perry County 2024 Fair. 4-H is a very big aspect in my life. It has taught me dedication, responsibility, and public speaking all through the programs and activities that we get to do with our leaders, and it really teaches me how to be a role model for the younger generation. So we would greatly appreciate if the county council could consider the Perry County program 4-H in the budget to keep this program running for like our educational trips that we do, 4-H day at the State House, our science sensations and our camps, and so much more for the younger generation and even my grade and my peers to so keep continuing to do it. So thank you guys. And have a good day.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And I'm Martha Basher. I'm on 4-H Council, and I'm also a 4-H leader with Outdoor Adventures. It's just one of our new programs. We're trying to expand and get more kids involved. Outdoor Adventures, you don't have to take a project to the fair. It's just getting kids signed up, and we take them on different outings to go different places. This fall, we went to Wyandotte Caves, had a hike through there, and then went to the Pioneer Village, which the kids really enjoyed. We're going to go to Sugarloaf Pioneer Village and a hike at Eagles Bluff. But we've been getting, I think, about 15 to 20 kids. We provide them a meal, we cook outside, and they just really enjoy it. And so it's a way to expand the program. And we appreciate your support in the past. It goes for the trips, the 4-H camps, youth development, and so much more. So we really appreciate everything you guys do for us.
Thank you, guys.
Thank
Do you
you.
have any questions?
Does anyone have any questions of Martha or
No.
Hannah? Thank you, guys.
Actually, what's your request?
It's probably, I assume the premiums, the 10,000.
What was your
Plus
request?
10 was fine.
10,000. Okay.
It's in the commissioner's budget.
We have 10,000 for 4-H premiums,
And
and
15
then 15 for building operations. That's by Chris doing that.
Yep.
I think that's it, isn't it?
Yep.
Okay, next on our list is Perry County Fairgrounds, Chris Temple.
Well, thank you for considering Perry County Fairgrounds for the budget this year. I'm Chris Temple. I'm the current president again this year. It seems to be a rolling habit, but we've made a couple improvements over last year with some of the funding. We purchased some new pinning for the small animal projects, some new gating there, and some of the funds went to the what we call the black sand area. So in the early 2000s, we started getting some more pocket fill sand in there. And I've inherited a headache there. So we've been investing some time and money, lots of time back here. We finally got all clear from IDM for that now. So that's just under general maintenance now. So I'm hoping that headache disappears. So some new projects we're working on for 2025 is we applied for some ARP funding for a new electronic sign at the end of the road. We're still going to have to fund quite a bit of that with our own money. Getting some requests for a new sound system in our stage area. I heard some some disapproval there. So we've put a sound system in the livestock arena, a sound system in the main arena the last 2 years. So we're hoping the funds are available and the timing just to get it all in there. Some ceiling fans on the bleacher areas. We're using 50 gallons of water a day with the water turned on. So all of our exterior buried piping is galvanized piping put in the 40s or 50s when the fairgrounds come in. So we're looking to rebury all new water lines from the main building out to all the other buildings, hydrants, livestock barns. We don't know what that's going to entail. So the other large expense we incur is just the insurance. So that's our largest line item, is about $20,000 a year. So just carrying liability insurance on everything. So, but we supply a free place for the 4-H Council for all their events. We're a voting station or voting poll place for the county. We do some free rentals, reduced price rentals for some organizations within the county, Special Olympics being one of them and stuff. So, and we do allow our facility at a reduced rate for the public vet to come in to do these spay and neuter clinics. So I don't guess not everybody wants to take on that road. So you get 130 cats in there. I think it's full again.
200 this time.
It's 200, September 22nd for spay and neuter clinic. 200 cats in your basement going to procedures. So it takes a little extra cleaning, and but we do reduce the cost there where we can, so to cover some utilities. So I mean, we had a good fair this year. One rain Saturday, cut our gate money some, but not terrible. So
And it always rains.
it always rains. It always rains. So we actually bought event cancellation insurance for that night, but our weather station was stationed at the Armory, and it did not get no rain, and the fairgrounds did. So we do not trigger the payment. So we are working on that in the future to get a weather station at the fairgrounds, you know, if we continue there. And we've actually got some proposals from Purdue University to put in a very elaborate weather station on some grants they can help us with. So we're investigating that too. So it'll be a state type weather station for weather alerts and stuff, so, or weather monitoring. But we got to reach out to Purdue and
That was
work
really
with
close to not have the rain at the Armory.
Yeah, Steve Hauser said the Armory did not receive rain,
You had a
and we had a downpour.
Yeah.
So we had to get a half-inch plus between 10 a.m. and 5 p.m. to trigger a payment. And we got it. We didn't have no way to prove it. So otherwise, that would help for some of these rain events we're starting to run into year after year. So we just keep chugging forward as best we can, help the community where we can, and you see us at the Schweitzer Fest working. I mean, we work for what we can get, where we got the opportunity to get some funds. So. But we appreciate the $15,000 what we requested, so it helps fill in some holes and keep us modern as much as we can. So. Any other?
Chris, the general maintenance for the sand that we use from the field, what all is that involved in?
Well, we had to redo some riprap, put some erosion control mats. We had to redo some dirt, put some new ditches in. Now for general maintenance is keeping the slopes brush hog, no woody vegetation on slopes, no woody vegetation in the riprap. So we're spraying the riprap rock shoots. Our family drives the tractor and brush hog in once or twice a year to keep the slopes mowed off. So.
How often is that? IDM, they come in and test that from time to time?
Well, they've been in there about every 2 to 3 months for the last 5 years. And we just keep chasing rabbit holes, and we finally, they come in unannounced and write citations, and then we've got to wade out through there and find what they're even looking at. So, but like I said, we finally got a letter that that's all clear and cleaned up, and just doing some general maintenance on it annually. But when you got a revolving board, it's hard to pass responsibilities on for something like that. So.
Isn't the electric pretty good in the barns?
The livestock barn is the old cloth coated 2-wire Rolex. And the light switches are like an Easter egg hunt. You don't know which pole they're hit on. Some's 8 foot high and some's 2 foot high. So the squeakiest wheel gets the oil sometimes. So
Lights come on, so
the lights come on. If I know where all light switches are after 20 years now.
Well, the car light bulb worked where we were at.
Well, yeah, you guys actually brought a light bulb in and put in there, so thank you. So, when it gets used heavily, once a year, it takes a lot of maintenance, but no, it does get used. I mean, the graduation parties are our biggest rental income, through May and June, so it's hard to stay not charge too much so people can do it, but you still gotta do maintenance too, so.
At one time, I was on the fairground 4 years ago, they were looking at possibly running another entryway in, come back around behind Walmart.
Yeah, that has been, I've heard that, we got phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, I think that's gonna be phase 4. Something got shut down abruptly before they got finished. We're trying to get all this cleaned up before we pursue anymore. I don't know what the headaches we've had on this. I don't know if that's something we want to, but we can do another phase so that we can have an interest at the Walmart stoplight.
that'd be nice.
Yeah, for some of our events where semis are rolling in for traffic pools or stuff, they can use that. This electronic sign, we're finding that people don't even know the facility is up there. We've got the old fashioned sign with letters.
We advertise here.
Yeah, so we're hoping this electronic sign would get attention, get some more rental info out, We update our sign with rental info and a phone number, but everybody just drives by and don't even see it,
How close are you on that financing, that new sign?
Well, it's a $15,000 sign. If ARP comes through with the 5,000, what we could request there, we're working with German American Bank on maybe another 5,000. And then we're just hoping we can fund the rest ourselves. It'll be very similar to Hoosier Hills Credit Union over here, the same sign, working with Scott Strobel.
Something similar to the Legion's got probably.
It might be, yeah. The Legion's a 3x6 and we're looking at 2x7. I think that's what it is.
They're not cheap.
They're not cheap. Scott's cut us some pretty good deals, or says he has. So it comes with a laptop and, we can change it with Wi-Fi. You can change it anywhere you're at. So we, I'm living northern part of the county. It's hard for me to get down here anytime to change activities, or even through the fair, we changed the sign 3 times on Saturday. So
A lot easier.
yeah. But thank you guys for your time and the effort you put into the board, and appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you for easy.
Next, we have Nathan Hale with Indiana 15.
Thank you.
So did Lisa finally retire?
She did. She got out of there in May. Good evening. Tonight, I'm here with Indiana 15 Regional Planning Commission. We serve 6 counties, and per state statute, we are able to ask for a per capita fee for all 6 of our counties in the region. The number is based off of the 2020 census. So Perry County is, the per capita fee is $12,460.50. So that first sheet just summarizes what each county is putting in. And then the next 2 pages, I always like to put in about 10 years of history to show what that investment has returned back to the county as far as the state and federal grants that we work on. That per capita fee goes to match the planning grant that we get through the Economic Development Administration, through the U.S. Department of Commerce. That helps us to go out into the region and go to meetings, work on developing projects and applications. It also goes to match our planning grant that we received through NDOT, which we go out, do traffic counts on county roads and provide that data to NDOT. And in turn, it's out there for public use as well as used by each of the counties. So looking at the past 10 years, Perry County has done fairly well, especially the last few years. 2023, a pretty healthy year with $11.7 million in federal and state grant funds coming back to the county. 2024, we had the old Perry County Hospital, the demolition project that was funded. So that was a good project for the city of Tell City. So when we put this on this list, it is the year that the application is funded, but also keep in mind that we're usually working on those projects, up to a year prior, maybe even more. And then once it gets funded, then there's 2 or 3 years on the back end on administration that we're working on. Just want to point out a few things here. Other than the hospital clearance, last year, the RAISE grant for the Perry County Port, that was $11.5 million that was funded. Also one, just to demonstrate how long some of these take, the pier improvement project at the port was funded back in 2021. And because the federal government is a little slow at times, we still haven't gotten the grant agreement for that. There's just continual paperwork back and forth, but it's getting closer. And then I also want to point out, I may have mentioned this last year, but Indiana 15 does have a grant through the EPA for brownfields assessments. And this is where brownfield sites throughout our region, if it's ripe for redevelopment, but there might be some concern, some potential environmental concerns, this grant will allow an environmental consultant to go in and do phase 1 and phase 2 environmental assessments and hopefully clear the project and property so that it can be redeveloped. We've had a lot of success over the last numerous rounds of this funding, and we've already studied a few sites here in Perry County on this new round. So we do have a number of projects in development, either on full track to submit an application or some things that have just been talked about. Water infrastructure through the county, and we've had a lot of discussions with Antro and Troy Township Water, also Cannleton with some water improvements, some additional port improvements, and also owner-occupied rehab housing for the city of Tell City. They're next on our list to apply for that program. So we are staying busy.
A lot. It's a big help, the funding.
We are here to serve you.
Gil Gorman needs water. He has a tank on the back of his truck. He's getting too old for that.
It's true.
Working on it.
Appreciate it.
Anyone have any questions for Nathan? I didn't call you Norman tonight. I guess not.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we have Ride Solution, Beth Browning.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I am Beth Browning. I'm pinch hitting for Director Becky Guthrie tonight. I realize there was a little bit of miscommunication with the funding for this year, so if you found that pot of gold, we still would appreciate some funding for this year. But going forward, it is imperative that we have the county support, so we would like to ask for $6,000 for your 2025 budget. And we do appreciate the past support. So, any questions?
Do you know about how many you serve?
Client-wise or
Yeah.
rider-wise, that varies. We do a lot of employment, transportation, and so as they get established, get their paychecks, then
Right.
they'll transition into a car.
That's
That
good.
kind of goes in waves. We do a couple dialysis patients, that's 3 times a week, those are riding. We have some out on Indiana 37 that come in Tell City, go to work. We assist with SERS and doing some of their client transportation. So we have rides going to and from Spencer County, Du Bois County, coming into the county. So the number varies, but we keep the drivers running all day long.
That's your normal range of operations, like Perry, Spencer, and Du Bois County.
We have 10 counties actually in Southwest Indiana, so it's not unusual that we get a request to even go as far into Warren County, Vanderbilt County for medical reasons or whatever, but sometimes it's hard to go out of the area, but constantly we're doing the Tri-County area around here. And what gaps we have, SERS tries to fill them with their drivers.
Any other questions for Beth?
I'm glad you're here this year.
All right.
Yeah.
All
Well,
right.
thank you.
Thank you.
Perry County EMS. Caitlin? Leonard?
I will be speaking on behalf of Kayla.
Okay.
For the moment. She may not agree, but after we're done.
You're her secretary.
No, unfortunately not. She could probably use one. She's pretty busy. If you don't know who I am, I'm Leonard House. I'm the EMS director. I've been in this position since about April. I've been with the hospital with EMS since about 2016. I believe you have a budget in front of you that's somewhere like 225,000. What supposedly was requested, not from us. I'm not sure where that come from. Our request is 485,000 and some change.
Is that just for ambulance services or is that for equipment and everything together?
That is just ambulance service. That does include, I believe, some of the, what you refer to as equipment fund helps pay for some of the truck maintenance and things like that as well, though, correct, Caleb? Yeah. Quite a big difference of what you guys had in front of you, I know. Ambulance billing is horrible, unfortunately. We're expected to only net revenue $1.4 million. I know that sounds like a lot, but just to pay salary and wages, we're at 1.2. There's not very many paramedics, period, much less in Perry County. There's actually only 3 of us full-time that live in Perry County. Everyone else comes from outside. There's a couple from Warren County, Vanderbilt County. One we just recently hired from New Albany area. So we're drawing people in that want to work. It's just hard.
Competitive field.
Competitive. We got to pay for people to come here. The last I was aware, we're about the 3rd to 4th highest paying company in Southern Indiana. So there's still attraction to go elsewhere. If we keep raising our rates, we're going to run out of a job, unfortunately. So that's the big expense is the salary and wages, just to keep the ambulance service. So we have a service. Right now, we're running 2 trucks. That's what this 485,000 is. That is 2 trucks every day, 24/7. Ideally, it'd be 2 paramedic service or 2 paramedic units, one at the south station, one out at the north station. Due to the paramedic shortage, sometimes we do 1 ALS, 1 BLS, which is a level of care and treatment you can receive to and from the hospitals. Any specific questions you guys have for us, or me, since Kayla's not up here with me?
So you said your revenue's going to be 1.4 and your costs are just 1.2?
No, the 1.2 is just salary and wages, and our salary and benefits for the EMS employees only. That is just EMS. We got wages that include maintenance for the trucks, fuel. Fuel is a big cost for us. We do a lot of transports out of town, obviously, going to Evansville, Owensboro. Occasionally we go to Louisville, sometimes as far as Indianapolis. Supplies that for patient care. Unfortunately, we're not able to bill. We cannot bill itemized for patient care. We bill a standard trip fee and a standard mileage rate. And that's all that 97% of insurances will pay is that standard fee plus mileage. So if we transport someone and we use $500 worth of equipment on the way, we get paid the same regardless of whether we use nothing.
Leonard, do you charge for non-transport anymore or now?
For a true non-transport, no. So if, say like a diabetic emergency where we're actually giving medications or doing interventions, we will send the insurance a bill for that. Sometimes insurance pays it, sometimes they don't. We typically don't send the bill directly to the patient though. But for a true, what I consider a true treat non-transport, which would be we get to your house and maybe we just help you up off the couch or onto the couch off the floor. You tripped and fell, whatever the case, you don't see a bill for that.
Okay.
But hey,
I've heard some different people making different, and I thought
this has recently changed in the last 4 or 5 months probably that I believe our billing company was billing for all run activity.
I think they still are.
I'd have to look into that.
But you know,
They're not supposed to be.
the treated, you know, when you use drugs, you know, like on a diabetic run, that's an expense. That's a big hit.
Right. A lot of our payments come from Medicare and Medicaid, just due to the population of older age people in our area. About 70 to 75% is Medicare or Medicaid, and we get whatever they're willing to pay. We can send them a bill for $1 million. If they only want to pay $1,000 of it, that's what we're going to get. So, and most insurances follow Medicare and Medicaid guidelines as far as
You know,
payments
they can get
go.
by with it.
Because, Medicare and Medicaid do it, why can't we? And being the government, they kind of do what they want. So, you know, we do a transport, we use fuel, salary and wages for us to work on the ambulance, all of our supplies, upkeep for our equipment, stuff that we can't bill itemized for. You know, it may cost us more than we even bill for, but that's what we actually get.
Another fairly sizable expense is the utilities at that new station.
Yeah.
That's shocking at that new building.
There's been a little bit of confusion on that. There was some electricity that's been prorated over the last few months. There's actually a second meter there that the hospital wasn't aware of that we just recently found out about. So that has come off the budget. Yeah, so that helps, but it doesn't fix the problem.
Doesn't eliminate.
You know, we still got to keep the lights on. We still got to keep everything charged and running. Keep the water going. We got to keep our stuff clean, wash the trucks. We want them to look nice, good shape for whenever the next crew comes on.
Is the new ambulance, there was talk at one of the meetings, Warren Taylor said that he had heard, which, you know, it's hearsay, but is there electrical issues or not with the new ambulance, the newest ambulance?
The newest that we have?
Yeah.
Not to my knowledge. I just left at 2:30 today.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a month or so ago, he mentioned at one meeting.
I had heard rumors of that was brought up, and to my knowledge, it's a vehicle. There's always something going on. But to be a major issue, no, there's no major issues with it. I think maybe there was a turn signal light that didn't work or something silly that, we replaced the bulb. Yes.
This year, it was adopted 215,000, and so far you've expended 213,000 plus. You gonna make it to the end of the year?
No. Our annual
How are you coming up
expectation is
with the extra?
$463,000
Yeah,
what we expect to spend.
How are you coming up with the extras through?
Other departments in the hospital, unfortunately. I think we're on the schedule to be back next month to request extra subsidies already.
They
Even though
transferred some from
even
equipment.
though you guys were willing to transfer some last month already. So we'll get to see each other again.
One thing I think would be
October
nice
and
too
then
is
probably November and
if
then.
we
like
could work out a
December.
way, we could work out a way to where we get a bill every month.
We can do that if that's what you guys want.
I mean, if it would work out, then you've got questions that's fresh on everybody's mind
That's
versus
supposed to be,
being 3 or 4 months
that
out.
should be followed now.
Yeah.
It should
The
be.
way I understand it's been done
It's not that
that
way now.
It should
you
be.
guys wouldn't get a bill until we ran out of money that you agreed to subsidize for the year.
Are you talking, you guys submit your monthly P and Ls, but sometimes it's May and June together, I think that's what they're saying.
Oh, gotcha.
I mean,
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
we get your monthly P and Ls. But sometimes they're January and February together, May and June together,
I do know there was one month that we actually didn't lose money as the department.
one in May.
Yeah, so she didn't send May's in May, she sent it along to June, I believe. That may be in the case for earlier in the month, or earlier in the year for similar months. Megan, I don't know what her title is, finance. She's the numbers guru that puts all the stuff together, pays the bills, all that good stuff.
Correct, is it 63 that we have budgeted for these?
So this 485 is everything. It's all the equipment that you want to put back money for. It's your subsidy. It's all
That's
of
just
that.
a subsidy.
280.
So did you have any set aside for future equipment that you wanted?
Not at this time, since we just got brand new equipment, we're pretty well set for 2025 budget.
Yeah, we
Including trucks.
just should start putting back money to
last-
replace that.
As far as I'm under the impression, we're getting a truck in maybe March.
Correct.
So that's gonna help. Obviously, we'll be ready for one and maybe
And they're
like
2 years
20,
out.
27, 28, somewhere in there. I forget the
If you order
exact
it
schedule
today,
off the top
it's
of
2
my
years
head.
out
2 years?
for a new one.
Gotcha. Now, the one that's getting worked
No.
on now?
No,
we're
you're gonna get that one in
asking-
March, but then if you
2
order a
years
new
out.
one, if you ordered it today, it's about 2 years.
Oh, yeah, there's
So we should already be
very
ordering one
significant
now
lead
for
time
2
on it.
years from now.
Thanks for
Maybe we do another
This is what
remount,
should be happening.
something we got.
If they don't need it.
Correct.
Two.
There are, I believe, 3 of the trucks are capable to be remounted. I don't remember which trucks off the
You
top
know,
of my head, but
How many trucks do you have right now?
6 counting the newest truck.
Plus the
You don't pay in
7 when you
advance,
get
you
one
pay when
more.
it comes
No.
in. But you need to start
We have
putting aside your
6,
money.
one
Yeah.
is in
That-
the
that's why
body
we
shop,
need money.
was hit by a deer twice, and
380.
it will replace the oldest truck
Just want
when
to
it
make sure
comes
that's
back to
That's why I'm trying to
service.
say we need to
So we'll
start
be
setting
back to
aside money.
5.
60 and 3,
You still got 4 drive.
It's the
285.
one that's going out of service, it's a 1997, it is
Is
four-wheel drive.
it gonna be up for sale?
Oh, I
or
don't have
is
a
it-
35.
I-
I don't know if they count.
It's
a
If it's
county
not a
asset.
property, that is not up to me.
Okay.
That comes to 373.
I don't believe that one
25
is
plus 60,
remountable though.
am I right?
Oh, it's
Probably not, that
225.
thing's like
25
97.
plus 60.
So
It is a
383.
97, yeah. You
383.
probably worked out
I
of
worked
If
out.
we're gonna need a $250,000 ambulance or 2 in the next 2 years, we're gonna need to set aside money.
correct.
To have money to pay for that. If we would order it this year, then we wouldn't get it for 2 years. We have to pay when it comes in, so. We
Yeah,
probably need
That
to
is
be
my
think- we
understanding,
need to
that
be
you don't have
thinking
to
about
pay
that
up
also.
front. It is when it's actually
That's correct,
delivered.
but I think we need to be putting aside money every year instead of just coming up with $500,000 in 1 year.
I think the remount's the way to go.
It is cost saving. I mean, it'd
It's
be,
a little bit.
everyone's already familiar with the layout of the vehicle.
So just to let you know later, which I know I emailed you and Kayla today, both the spreadsheets, there are 2 different locations in the budget where things are budgeted. Under ambulance services, there's 285,000 budgeted between the 2, between lit and commissioners. There's 35,000 for equipment, 35,000, and 63,000 for ambulance lease. So that puts it a total of 383,000 that's budgeted in 2025. So really, you're only out about 100.
Well, this one doesn't include the ambulance lease, so.
Okay.
He wants this 485 for the subsidy for the wages and employees. And that's what a lot of people don't understand, and I try to explain this. There's 2 separate things. There's ambulances and equipment, and then there's a subsidy for what you don't get back in reimbursements from medical insurance or not having insurance or whatever. So what you're saying is this 485 is to cover the employees and the wages.
It does include minor equipment, which is not like our cardiac monitors,
Well,
the
like-
trucks, the stretchers, those
Yeah.
type of things. Minor equipment would be medical devices that aren't disposable,
Right.
for example. But the 485 does not include the ambulance lease or the equipment. Just making sure I was right on that. They don't want to miss anything. I know that's a lot of
That's
money.
about what it was last year, your request.
I don't have the request in front of me last year. The dollar amount,
You didn't get funded that, but that's what.
no,
close
we
to
did
your
not. I think we get in 2024, we were funded, what, is it 225, I believe?
I think
215, I'm sorry.
15 and 60,
actually, last year, your request total was like 800-some thousand.
883,000.
And for 2023, we spent 645,000.
Was 883.
Yeah.
And we're budgeted this year for 463 and annualized predicted to be right at that 463 mark through into July. Or actually, I think that includes the end of August, so the first 8 months. So we're on track to be on budget for 2024. Of course, that budget is 463 versus 215. So hopefully we got a lot of new equipment that we're in dire need for. New ambulance, we got one coming, luckily. Still,
We need to start planning to replace that stuff.
the
What I
monitors are
understand,
around the
it's got a
7-year
lifespan.
half-life. Our stretchers are, I think they're going on 4 years old now. They're about the 7 to 8 year lifespan.
And they're $40,000 to $50,000
So about
a piece.
halfway, 40, the last quote we got was like 44 and some change. So yeah, they're not cheap. Unfortunately, no medical equipment is cheap anymore. And that is one of the nicer stretchers. It is the power lift. It saves us a lot of backache. Keeps us from having to call for additional help. Keeps us from having to call first responders in the middle of the night. We're able to do that stuff on our own without getting other people to assist us anymore, which is nice. So that it kind of, I don't want to say it eliminates the need for first responders. It kind of saves them for when we truly need the extra help.
We'll do what we can.
I understand. We'll do what we can to work inside the budget. Anybody else have a question?
Appreciate it, Leonard. Thanks.
You guys have a good night.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, Leonard.
I'll call you
Thank you.
tomorrow.
Next guy, Sirs, Cheryl Morris.
I'm Cheryl with SIRS. I think I've come before all of you at one point or another since last year. We had a couple of new faces, but first of all, I just want to extend my gratitude for your past support of our organization and our mission. We are seeking an appropriation in the county budget again, the 2025 budget, for the same amount as past year, which is $45,000. Over the years, we have sought county funding to support our organization, in particular to offset the low Medicaid service reimbursement rates. The 2023 increased rates for home and community-based services was a welcome relief for us, making it easier for us to meet financial obligations. And the increase also allowed us to give a salary increase to our frontline workers. However, the historical lack of the state reviewing those home and community-based waiver services has had a damaging effect on our buildings. We have a lot of buildings in poor shape. One example is our Troy facility, where we outsource work to local manufacturers, and then we also donate space to SWICAT for their mission-based work. The restrooms are in critical need of repair and need to be updated to ADA standards. We have gotten a quote on that 2 years ago, and we've been trying to raise the funds since then. It's about 40,000 then, so probably closer to 50 at this point. Additionally, over the years, we have put off resolving the issue of needing a resource navigator, creating a resource navigation service for our organization. That service would support eligible individuals throughout their lifespan with transition phases from early intervention services into adulthood. And it would ensure proper funding sources are identified and referrals are made from birth on. resource navigation services would fall under administrative, and that salary would be absorbed by administrative overhead. This year, the Board of Directors adopted a new strategic plan that emphasizes improvements to our buildings and also to add that resource navigation service. So your continued support would be greatly appreciated. We have written a grant to fund both the Troy facility bathroom update and also that resource navigation or that position. But we would still contribute to what the grant funding. So I think that we have asked for a grant from the Perry County Community Foundation for half of what it's going to cost. So we would contribute the other part of that. And then for that resource navigation position, we've written a United Way grant, which we also would be contributing funds for that as well. So not holding it solely on those grants, but anyways, the healthy spaces and that navigation services made possible by your support, hopefully would allow us to create more opportunities for the people that we currently serve and reinforce our commitment to the quality of services that we are known for. So thank you for considering the request, and your support is invaluable to us. So we're grateful for your time and consideration listening to our request. And I hope all of you did get, okay, it looks like you did. If you guys have any questions about what I submitted, I'm happy to answer your questions.
This YCAC, do you volunteer that space for them, or do they pay rent?
No, we donate the space, they don't pay. Yeah, the whole front portion of that Troy facility is office space, and it's for their use solely. It's how we give back. We have a lot of good people that give to us, so we try to give back when we can.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Molly Hagman with River Edge Animal Shelter.
Pass it down there if you need one. It's in there.
Good evening. My name is Molly Hagman. I'm with the Animal Shelter. I appreciate you taking the time to review my documents that I handed you. So last year we requested $35,000. This year I am asking for an additional $15,000, which would make it a total of $50,000. And if you take a look at the numbers in the budget, I'm still in the hole, guys. So that's where the fundraising and the hopes of donations come in to cover that cost. Although we cannot depend on donations because those are ever changing from month to month. And that's where the fundraising on our part will have to increase and pick up to cover that shortage. I gave you on the second sheet, I just made it simple for you. I did a 2023 breakdown and then where we're at from January to July of this year. So you could see the numbers. We're running on bare bones. I run a very tight ship. There's no room for error. I have no slush fund. When I see waste, I get very upset because things are expensive. And when there's a roll of paper towels on the floor, that upsets me because we go through a lot of paper towels and paper towels are expensive. So that's just a little thing just to kind of give you a tidbit. So that's the second sheet of where our expense totals are.
Why are your payroll taxes so high in that January, July? Salaries, you said 28, and payroll taxes 13.
Did you see,
Why is that?
um,
That looks like a lot.
I'll check. I do it.
It
March
is.
area, it is.
so our payroll taxes, average anywhere from 12 to 15 a month.
I know, but it shouldn't
And
be that
then when
much.
we get hit with 3 payrolls, so May we had 3 pay periods, that just kills us. Because it's an extra pay, which it's an extra tax that you have to pay also. So you don't think that's right?
No.
I would love for it to be cheaper.
I don't know if the payroll, there's a payroll, maybe the payroll's off of that.
It shouldn't be 50%, it's more like, it's 7.65.
20%.
Yeah, it'd be more like 20, 7.65, 7.65.
I do these, so let me check.
That's what's logged in, so that's the profit and loss.
See, your 23 is more right, 12 with 44. That's all right, you don't have to look at it now.
Payroll taxes. Yeah, I can show you.
So that's what comes out of the account every month, is anywhere from 12 to 15, just for payroll taxes. And I think that's where a lot of people don't understand, because I've heard rumors. Where's your donations go? Where does this go? It costs a lot to run an animal shelter. And to be quite honest, there's been pay periods that I haven't taken a pay. Because if I do, then it's gonna run us short for the month. So, but in saying that, I don't take the pay, and I've made the mistake of not informing my bookkeeper that, so I'm still paying the payroll taxes. So somehow or another, I'm gonna have to come up with a way to get my pay caught up, because I've already paid the payroll taxes.
You can't pay payroll taxes unless you get a salary.
That's
I have a
what-
salary.
It's not 28.
No, yeah, the payroll's 58,545.
5,000.
The payroll is actually, where it says 28,802, it's 58,545.91. You just did the employees, you didn't do all yours.
I don't know what's for, it says January, July.
Yeah, this would be for 6 months, it's already more than the full year
Yeah,
last year.
That's what I'm saying.
But you weren't working a full year last year, that was employees
No.
were you?
Correct.
Yeah. So you can't really
We
compare.
didn't
the two.
take
You
we
can't
didn't
compare
take it
23.
till March.
Yeah, you can't.
And it was the end of March, so it wasn't a full year last year. So this year is going to be, this year you're gonna have a full year, and you're gonna have the hard numbers to look at this year. Last year, you got the numbers, but it's still not a full year, because we didn't sign the contract until March.
Even your payroll taxes for 23, they're way too high. It's 27%, that can't be, so there's something wrong.
I'll look at it, Molly.
Well, then I will definitely look into that, because if that's going to, I mean, because it's automatic, that's what they send me, I don't figure it up.
But your cost is only 7.65% for your
Okay.
FICA federal, for your FICA, Medicare and FICA, it's 7.65.
And you're paying 27.
That can't be right.
They process it every month,
Right, it's,
so, yeah.
they
For
send it to
unemployment.
me, so,
Unemployment's very, very small.
They process it.
yeah,
every
the
month.
unemployment's small.
Which that's right.
And that's
here.
quarterly.
Those are quarterly.
Yeah.
But the-
I know, I do.
Right, you do it, so
40 years.
you know. That's quarterly, I'm talking about the monthly, and you're saying that's not right.
I'm comparing what you have here for payroll and then what you have for taxes. If that's the same time period, it's not right.
Okay,
But if there's something, if it's not the same time
I've got the
period,
pay- Yeah,
there's something, it could be not the same time period, something.
no, it should be. So something's
It's worth
not right.
checking.
I
Yeah,
get it.
I'm sure you're not paying that high payroll taxes in relation to your salary. Unless there's something thrown in there that's not payroll taxes, you know,
No,
if you're paying like
because it
a,
has its own line item.
okay, yeah, we'll look into it.
Well, that may make up I mean, if it's wrong,
I hope it's to your advantage.
God bless, I do too.
We'll get with Marsh tomorrow.
Yeah, I do. I hope it is to my advantage, because looking at this bottom line number, it doesn't look good.
Right,
And I mean, honestly, I understand why no one in this county wanted to do this, to be honest. And the budget that I was given to get started by the animal gatekeeper here in this county beforehand, those were just numbers put on a piece of paper. They had no idea what this was going to cost to run. I had no idea what it was going to cost to run. And honestly, I think that's why, again, no one took this on.
Well, I was knocking the door down to do it.
Absolutely. I mean,
They didn't
people,
know either.
they didn't know, but then also people were, ITV was approached. There were other entities that do this business that was approached, and they said no. And now I know why. So now I'm in the position that we gotta make it work, because this county needs this. We don't, not only do we need an animal shelter, but we're also making our way in this community. We're doing other things for the county. We have 4-H come in. So we offer programs for 4-H to come in. We offer community service. We're one of the few businesses here in Perry County that offers community service. So those people have to go out of county, spend more money to complete their community service. And they can come to the shelter, and it's also therapeutic for them. So we are trying to make our stamp in the county other than just being an animal shelter. I always hear there's nothing here to do for the kids. There's nothing to do for the kids. We brought the circus in this year. They contacted me, wanted to do a fundraiser. Sure, come. I think it'd be great for the kids before school starts. Was I leery? Absolutely. Because I was like, oh my gosh, what if this is a flop? Then that's not good either. People were laughing. I was sitting in the very back the last show. Kids were laughing, adults were laughing. It was a good time for the community. I think it was a cheap event for the community to go and participate, and it was just something neat. It was just like the old rolling through circus coming to town, and
Was it a pretty good service?
it was. I mean, and believe me, I was nervous because I was like, oh, this is.
I think you need to keep that for your fundraiser. I'd heard you'd said, maybe you would share, I think that you ought to.
Well, and so next year, that's what because this is one of our things too. I don't always want to be on the take in this community. We also have to give back. We also have to do things for our community. We also have to have community outreach. So my thing was, if they come back next year, maybe pick an organization that's in need and donate to that. We have helped. There's a little girl in our community, and she has cancer right now, and we have helped with fundraising for her. There was a family that the husband got attacked by a dog, and it just appealed to me because of what had happened, and we did a fundraiser for them and raised money. So we are trying to make our stamp in the community in other ways than just being an animal shelter. And taking in dogs and cats or telling the public no that we can't. So
I just want to make a comment about the payroll.
please.
I don't think these wages are significant in any way, shape, or form. I know people like to have opinions, and I don't know if people even know, what it is, but I hear things, and these are not extremely high wages by any means.
No,
This is just,
No, they're-
I'm shocked at how low they are, actually.
honestly, they're very low, and I'm not proud of what they are.
Is the.
I guess the point is,
Mine is the first,
Yours is first, and it's the second.
and Anna's the second. And if you take mine, divided by all the hours that I work, I'm the lowest in paid employee.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just being honest and real. I don't make $20 an hour. That's nonsense. But I have to pay my employees, because if I don't, then they're not gonna stay with me.
it's not easy work.
Do I wish I could pay them more? Absolutely. I caught heat from the Tell City Council over my wages. And here's the thing, guys, if I could pay my employees more, I absolutely would. I absolutely would. But I can't. Those are the hard decisions that have to be made in a business, not any business. And I can't do it because I hear from the county, we don't have money. Tell City, we don't have money. Hamilton, we don't have money. And honestly, I feel bad for what I'm asking for. And then I get heat that I'm not paying enough. Well, what's the solution? Do I ask you for more? I mean.
Oh, I don't want you to take it that way from me. I'm just saying, what I'm trying to say is I am shocked at how low they are, actually, that you have people willing to do that work that I've seen them do for these wages. That's just, I think they
Please
do a
don't
great.
talk to them.
I think, no, I'm not. I'm just saying, I think that they do a great job and they do a lot of work
I
for
have a great
a little.
I have a
pay,
great
really.
staff. They work really hard, and every employee that I have, it's a passion for them. It's not just a job.
You can tell.
They love the animals. They want to come in and take care of them. And that's been a sad part of my job is I've had to pull away from that aspect of it and deal more with this. And I like dealing with the animals. That's why I got into this. But my great staff is taking care of the animals. And
I
I
think they
hope
do an
one
excellent
day
job.
that I can pay them more.
I'm not getting after you. I'm just saying, I think
No,
that they do an
I
excellent
know.
job
And-
for what they get paid. And
I really try to go above and beyond and take care of them. Whether it be, and I know I've heard it before, don't buy me a pizza, give me more money. But that's just not possible right now.
I will say another thing too, the vet bills are just outrageous.
yeah, I'm
If
shocked
I
that
had-
that's all it is, that this has to be a low average.
Yeah, I mean,
I mean,
lucky to have.
You might have one that's that.
You know.
I mean,
Well, and
I've
I've
seen some
heard,
cases.
I've heard complaints about that too. Why are we driving all the way into Kentucky to a vet? Because vets here in Perry County cannot service us. It's that simple. I've talked to, Shaney wants to retire, God bless him. I want him to retire too. He needs to, he deserves that. Lab Park has another vet, or another shelter in Kentucky. How ironic is that?
Well,
Absolutely.
that's interesting.
Can we
It
trade?
is interesting. So he told me from the get-go, I can't service you.
Yeah.
And I said, that's fine. Can you handle an emergency if I need it? And he was like, yes, but he cannot. So we drive a half an hour to Roeburg over in Hardensburg, and that's our vet, and they service us. They have 4 vets on staff, and they service 4 other shelters, or were 4 shelters.
How many vets they got on staff?
4. 4 vets on staff, and we can't get a vet. So that's why we go to Kentucky, because I know, and when you're running a shelter, you have to have a vet. If you don't have one that comes to the shelter, which we don't, you have to have a vet that you can pick up the phone and say, I have an emergency, can I come? And they do.
Okay.
Absolutely, they're not, well, we'll see you next week. So that's why we have to drive. Any other questions?
I thought following, are you running about occupancy approval 4 right now?
Could be.
Or
I have,
thought I saw where you were.
all shelters are full right now. All shelters are full. We're full. I have 2 open campuses.
I don't know.
Because I remember taking through it when you had your capacity for
Just
several.
We have what?
Yeah, capacity for several.
We do, and we're at capacity. So you know that the long hallway with the rooms,
Probably.
we put animals in there, and those rooms weren't intended for that. And but that's, we have so many, that's what we have to do.
Right.
We've got animals in the kitchen, we have animals everywhere. So we are over capacity, but I do have 2 pens in the back open. I try to keep those open for law enforcement, because they can call us at any time, and we need to have a place for them. And then I will always juggle. I will juggle, we'll move. We accommodate for law enforcement. If they call us and they need a placement, then we will find a place.
I figured out the payroll. So when we debit, what Marsh debits, that's the employee portion and the employer portion, because they debit the full amount and pay that. So your payroll is just the net, not the gross. Does that make sense? Because when Marsh debits that each month, they're debiting what was withheld from the employers, or from the employee's check, and the employer's portion. Am I saying that right? So that full amount, half of that is only your expense, the other part is there, but we're only reporting the net because we're logging the check amount that you write in, because we're only logging net.
You shook your head no.
You log in the gross amount, not the net amount.
But we're logging net because it's entering the check, because she's writing the checks. So does that make sense? You
Not
have to
really, but.
Well, you're paid, what's being debited is the employer's portion plus the employer plus the
I mean, you
employees.
can't debit what the employee's paying in. See, the employee pays.
We need to add that back into that needs to be added into the payroll.
See, the 7.65 that the employee pays, you're deducting that. Like showing that's payroll tax, it's not. The employee paid that, you didn't.
Okay, now.
But we're logging the net, so
Okay.
honestly, it's, yeah.
So I need to.
I got
back out. Okay, so scratch that line item, please. Just,
But these numbers are accurate. They're just, sorry.
sorry to be a
Sorry, Molly.
confusion to you all.
I feel like this is pretty lean.
It-
I mean, it
well,
looks like bare bones.
I try to run a lean ship.
I mean,
I have to because of,
No, that's a good
I
thing
have
for
to
me.
because of the
When you're
funding.
asking for money, that's a good thing.
So,
We're not questioning it's lean. I can see that it's lean. but
Yeah.
I just want it right.
no, I do too.
That's right.
I absolutely want it right, and I appreciate you pointing it out. So,
I can help you with that if you need any help ever.
sleep, yes. So, yes, I want it right too. Because if it makes my bottom line look better, and that will, absolutely.
It will.
That's the
Yeah,
goal.
it will make my bottom line. So, and if you see from last year, my bottom line is better. It's still bad, but it is a little better.
I think it will. I think my mistake or payroll.
I mean,
May not.
I think what people need to understand is
That's what I'm
running a business.
Because if that amount's not right either. You know,
I'll look at it.
Yeah.
It's me. I enter all
if
this
the
in.
payroll is low, then you still got a problem.
Well, I don't think the payroll's low.
I think you just, yeah, it's me. It's not you, it's me, Molly.
I don't think the payroll's low.
Okay.
I think what you're saying now, that I need to take out the employee match.
In our software, we need to put the gross on
Okay, let me
it.
ask you this real quick. Is that your total annual salary gross?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then you're all right there. But you're wrong in the payroll tax.
So I think, like I said, once we take that out,
It should help you.
Yes.
it'll make my bottom be better.
That way we can reduce your funding. Correct. I'm just kidding.
Oh, I know, I wouldn't say correct. If you're wanting,
Please don't. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Love you, Molly.
Thank you.
Next, we have Perry County Council on Aging, Jesse Watkins and Melissa Noble.
Oh.
Noble.
I thought that was. Am I in trouble?
See,
usually
That's
I'm
what your
here.
dad always says, Melissa.
That's what we just say I'm in trouble. That's funny. I'm just here as support.
Yeah, whatever. You obviously know who we are because you called us by name.
Yes.
So we do
I
what?
don't need a whole lot of support.
Well, we probably
He
need
does.
more moral support than anything.
He does.
Yeah,
Oh,
she's no help. She's just pretty, and I figure as many men as are on the council that probably better bring her. So we're grasping at straws here.
Kelly.
So we sent
I
out a
know
budget
it's a lot.
request for 45,000 this year. Nobody's blind on this council. You've seen that we have grown significantly over the last several years, particularly in the last year. Environment truly is everything. Having moved from Cannleton to Tell City, we were very leery after being in the same place for 49 years that maybe that would be a problem for us, but it's been a very good problem, to be perfectly honest. We've added vehicles to our fleet, we've added staff to our roles, we've added activities, we've added programs, we've partnered with other people. It's been a wonderful experience over the last year, but with that comes the need for additional support. I appreciate the county and the support that you've given us through the years, and we're very proud to be able to say that those dollars are going in to the programs and the people that we serve. The funding that you give us is predominantly subsidizing the transportation program. As Leonard got up here and he shared, we do a very similar work sometimes. We're not out lifting, we're not, stopping bleeds, giving medications, but we're moving people. And we're moving people under Medicare and Medicaid guidelines. And there's no money there, just to be honest. When you're paying people I won't even call it a decent wage. We recently increased, when I came here 5 years ago, it was still minimum wage. Then we went to $9 an hour, and that was still poor, but we thought we were rich at that point. And then a couple of years, 10.30, now we're at 12.50, which is absolutely deplorable for the work that our people do.
And the amount of what it takes to get someone that does a good job and get their credentials and to be able to be trusted with the transportation, $12.50.
You organize all these excursions.
Yeah.
That's become really popular, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
I know, so you can see when the Walmart parking lot.
Yeah, when it's full, there's a trip.
There's a trip.
Right? Yeah.
I took 93 people to Canada.
Oh, to
And he
Canada.
came back.
And I came back. And they did too.
And they did too. And all 93 came back.
They all came back. River Coach is 56.
The Mackinac Island was pretty popular too, wasn't it?
Yeah, 56
went
passenger
twice,
motor
didn't
coach, and there were 54 on it.
That's a nice.
And that was the second trip for this
Second,
year.
yeah.
So there again, we've taken over 90 people, close to 100 people to Mackinac Island this year.
I guess that.
That may not have otherwise had a chance to go.
No.
Absolutely.
That's what they're about driving and everything.
104 people. So opportunities for quality of life enrichment. Taking a group next Friday to Churchill Downs. That's not money that you all are paying for. That's money that we're subsidizing transportation staff to get people up there that can afford to go on their own, but would not be able to drive to Louisville or be able to drive home after they've been at the horse track all day. I'm jealous, wish I was one of them. But we have great things going on. You know, the events that we host every month, we have a themed party at the Senior Citizens Center. You know, some of those are ranging 100 to 125 people. Holiday meals, last year we were over 100, like 140 people for some of them. This year, I would not be shocked to see us serve 175 at Thanksgiving or Christmas. It takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of coordination. It takes a lot of support from this community, and we're very fortunate in this community to have that support.
How long have you been there now at the new location?
Just over a year.
Great facility.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Oh, my goodness. It's
We
a
love
different
it.
daylight and
How
dark.
long you been with the Fairfield County?
A very long time, it feels like, but just over 5 years.
I'm gonna say just as I'm the president of the board, and I know he's gonna say whatever, but seriously, without him, there would be a huge void in this, because I don't know who we would get to replace it. Because he is very passionate about it. And, you know, like tomorrow, they're having a fiesta luncheon. And I guarantee you, when you're down there, you'll have several people come up to you that say, if we didn't have this, I probably wouldn't even leave the house. You know, like, these are things that they can, I still can't get my dad there yet, but I'm working on it. But, you know, it's just an amazing thing for our community. It really is.
People see the value in it, they appreciate what we do.
One thing with the lazy community, we need.
We do, yeah, absolutely.
Because like you said, there's people that wouldn't leave the house.
They wouldn't.
tomorrow, but
Even
they
just to
can't
play
wait to
bingo,
get down
you know,
there.
just
Yeah,
to come out and play
bingo.
Because
bingo.
they'll get a home cooked meal. For
Yes.
some people, that's the only home cooked meal
Yeah.
that they get in a month. You know, we don't have boxed meals that come in. We take to the kitchen and we tear into it. You know, now, I don't fry the chicken contrary to what they think at the Rome courthouse, but that's a whole nother story. We do get that from Lawson's, but everything else that goes with it, it's a good time. And people really do appreciate it.
And someone here does the cooking. He does that too. So we would really be in trouble if anyone else had to do it.
That's right. When Missy retires, she's gonna take my job. And I'll
That's
be back to being
a
driver.
false statement.
That's what I was hired to do originally.
Was to do what?
To be a driver.
Oh, whatever. I don't
Yeah,
remember that. Okay.
yeah. It's,
That's not true.
So, do you have any questions for us? I think we pretty well laid it out there. We'd like $45,000. We haven't had an increase in a couple of years, I don't think.
That's very, very good service. Appreciate what you do.
Well, thank you so much. I enjoy it, or I wouldn't go back every day. Some days I quit 3 times before lunch and I still come
True
back.
story.
And Missy's like, what is it now? But anyway, thank you. We appreciate
Thank you
your
all.
support.
Thanks for your support. And I like how you guys are doing this year.
This is much
Breaking it
better.
up. Probably better for everybody.
You didn't want to sit here for 6 or
I
7
wasn't gonna
hours.
say that, Kelly, but yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I guess that's everyone's coming. I did see, ran into the salt conservation.
Yeah.
And, he said something about didn't have space for him or something. I don't know the time, but I said, well,
No, that's not true, because there was openings in the other day, and I
Oh,
asked,
no.
I asked her if she wanted, and she said that pretty much she thought that everything had been sent via email.
oh,
I asked
okay.
her if she wanted to come this night, if they wanted to come this night, or they wanted to be in the department, in with the department, and she said,
The soil and water.
uh-huh.
So they did send,
And Darlene said that pretty much it was self-explanatory, and they had sent an email, and that if you guys had any questions to have any, so yes, they were asked.
okay. It was indicating to me that there was a time, ran out of time slides or something, I don't know. Anyway, I guess now we're ready for the first reading of the 2024 budget. I'll begin with the clerk, or circuit clerk, $227,837. County auditor, $257,789. Treasurer, $174,609. Recorder, $152,998. County Sheriff, $957,000. County Coroner, $71,209. County Assessor, $161,465.
She added something.
What?
Didn't she add something? Or-
No, no.
Oh, that's general.
That's,
Oh, okay,
we'll do
okay,
that
sorry.
under-
Go ahead.
Yeah, prosecuting attorney, 93,102. Extension service, 163,689. Veteran service, 50,685. County council, 48,556. Election board, 28,010. Commissioner, $2,228,001. Solid waste, 544,156. Animal shelter, 65,600. Planning and zoning, 14,057. Courthouse, 139,931. Circuit court, $643,057. Emergency management, 187,921. Jail, 764,440. 40 child support, 154,626. Soil conservation, 59,956. Parks and recreation, 178,747. Leaving a total for county general of 7,377,451. Health department fund, 337,449. Cumulative bridge fund, 386,900. Property reassessment, 122,636. Cumulative capital development, 315,538. Local income special legislation, 75,000. Clerk record perpetuation, 13,989. Recorder's record perpetuation, 37,766. Sales disclosure, county share, 44,410. Emergency planning, right to know, 3,767. Enhanced access, 16,615. Identification, security protection, 6,400. Local road and street, 420,000. Local income tax, public safety, county share, sheriff, 164,683. Commissioners, 184,000. Jail, 278,942. Restricted administration highway, 86,197. Restricted maintenance and repair highway, 756,382. Restricted general and undistributed highway, 545,820. Highway administration, this is unrestricted, I guess, 142,377. Highway unrestricted maintenance and repair, 720,108. General and undistributed highway, 1,034,954. Platinum fund, 12,524. Riverboat county share commissioners, 19,400. Council, 20,000. County auditor, data pit stop, and what is that? There's another one on there, 15,000. Or that might be somewhere else. Sex adult offender sheriff, 1,400. Supplemental public defender, 5,500. Corner perpetuation surveyor, 34,470. Then we have like election training for clerk, auditor, treasurer, and recorder, 1,000 each, and then surveyor for 900, for a total of 4,900. Statewide 911, 283,000. Local income tax, public safety, 911 dispatch, 340,000. Supplemental adult probation, 119,364. Jury fee, 3,000. Pretrial diversion, 32,650. Surplus surtax and wheel tax, 225,000. Local income tax, economic development commissioners, 180,000. Jail operations, $333,023. Highway road improvements, 700,000. And then inmate housing sheriff, 46,863. That was a grand total of 15,407,478. Then we have a binding budget with the airport authority of 55,000, and then airport authority community building of 20,000. So that was a total of there, 75,000. What?
The solid waste zero.
Oh, yes, yes, I didn't include that since it was. So that's the first reading of the budget request. Anything else?
So we don't have to modify since our numbers were.
So currently, right now, if you want me to read this with your levy funds, the general fund, we're over budget, 585,849. The reassessment, which is what Mindy was talking about the other day, is because I went to her because the expenditures overseed the revenue by $2,188. So I told her she needed to cut 22. And basically, she had room in her sales disclosure. So we can't add to the sales disclosure budget because you can't increase, you can only decrease from these numbers. But, so you can decrease off of reassessment and add them into sales disclosures after the annual financial report in 2025 of which is due in March 1st. So then you can do an additional there. And then the health fund, we are over budget by 8,929. Cume Bridge, we are under budget by 66,048. So basically, I already kind of addressed the reassessment. We just have to look at health in general. As those levy funds, those just have to budget all together. So in all, you're looking at 586 plus 9,000 that you've got to cut between those funds. Does that make sense?
That's in your levy fund.
In your levy funds, yes. The Form 4B, I gave to you guys on Monday, so that's available on Gateway next week at the budget session. Each of these other funds, you can look at your annual estimated revenue compared to your estimated budget expenditures and adjust from there. So
our budgets are next Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at 8 o'clock. I'm going until 4 again.
At the Armory.
And our yes, that's on. And then our regular county meeting, our regular county council meeting will be here on the 19th at 5 o'clock. Because of the AIC conference being the 4th week of September, we moved it up a week. So that way it gives anyone an opportunity to attend that. I know there's a few going from the courthouse. So nothing else. I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion made.
Okay, motion by Paul, second by Keith. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 6-0.
See you Tuesday.
Thank you.
Miss Mullen.
After this, check board.